Code Ethan, baby.
To Russ. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Fuck. I have no idea what I'm doing. But today we are meeting up with somebody who does. So, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Ethan Harold. I think this might be the man. It is the man. I can see the Jack Factory on his sleeve. All right, we're here with Ethan himself.
What's up? Before you start, I gotta do a little bit of product placement. Yeah, just gonna leave that right there.
There we go. Make sure you check out Jack Factory. Use code Ethan. What is it?
15% off. Yeah,
15% off.
Right on, dude. Okay.
Get those subs in. All right, so I've got like a bunch of questions. You guys know I'm doing this classic physique show, and Ethan actually did it last year. So just tell us like a tiny bit about that. Like, how's that?
Okay, so I had a couple bumps in the road in terms of actually doing it because when I signed up, I accidentally signed up for men's versus classic physique. Leading up to the show, when I was backstage about to actually get on, when they were gonna call my name, they had me signed up for the board short division. So I noticed that 5 minutes before, and they almost told me like, yeah, you can't swap, you're stuck here. And I remember making like a little prep series leading everything up. I had a bunch of people who were excited, and I'm like, am I not gonna get on? Am I not gonna do this? Like, are they really not gonna swap me? So the last second, the guy came back, scribbled out my name, put me on, and I was all good. So it was stressful, but the people there were a ton of fun. You're actually doing the exact same show I was in Utica. So in terms of that, a lot of fun, a lot of cool people to work with. I think mine was closer to when COVID happened, so there was just less people that signed up. I competed against 2 other people when I was on stage, but I think you're probably gonna have more people this time around. I don't know if you have a coach. I don't know if you have anyone else help. You don't?
Don't have a coach.
Dude, you're doing it the way I did. You're doing it the way I did. It's a lot of fun because you have to hold yourself more accountable. It's a bit tougher. Like, you need to be on point. It's gonna be tempting. It's gonna be tempting, but I'm sure you got some good self-control.
Yeah. Try to use self-control, but you know. So like, going off that, like, I'm a little afraid to ask this question because I feel like I know the answer, but were there weight classes / height divisions or anything like that? Because on the intake form, it only asks for my height and not my weight.
No weight class divisions. They just have, you know, men's open, men's physique, men's classic. They have like the angel division. They have the transformation division. So it's not necessarily by differentiate. Like, it doesn't differentiate per person. It's more so just like, what category are you going to be in, and you're going to keep whoever's there. I think that just had to do with the amount of people that signed up. So that might not be the case for you, but I don't really know how many people can be this year. So I think you're going to be clumped with whoever signs up. So fingers crossed.
Yeah, seriously, because that could be a small concern. Like, I'm obviously a smaller dude. I'm like barely 140 right now. So like, standing next to other people, they're like, you know, 30, 40, potentially even more like pounds on me. That's gonna be interesting, but.
Yeah, I think with classic, they do focus on mass, but not as much as they would open. They probably zero in on more things like proportion, like symmetry, like how certain body parts line up with other body parts. So you might have someone who outsizes you, but if you just look more aesthetic, you'll probably be better off. So I wouldn't worry too much. I wouldn't put too many like cards in the basket of like, I'm not 200 pounds of braided steel. You'll be just fine, you know?
Yeah, that's like kind of what I'm going for, because like, I feel like they do have a relatively balanced physique. I'm obviously not very big, but like, I do feel good. Like, I can get relatively lean, but yeah, I guess my concern, so my question for you is like, if there were divisions, or am I straight up going against just the world right now?
Yeah, no, I think you're gonna be all right. Yeah, you're just gonna be going up against individual divisions. You might have someone who's like 30 competing against you. You might have someone who's 18 competing against you. I wouldn't worry too much about your competition. I would just focus on yourself. And when you show up, you'll get a brief idea of who you're going against. But everyone I competed against was super cool. Like, I made a couple of friends there that I've actually worked out with recently. The guy who beat me in my show, his name's Brian. Shout out Brian. He invited me to his gym. Like, you're gonna network with people there. You're gonna meet people who are like-minded, and you're also gonna learn a lot about the sport. So it's a cool learning experience. That was how I viewed it. is like I wasn't trying to get my pro card or anything. I was just trying to go there, dip my toes, see how I liked it. And don't worry, I don't know if you get stage fright or not, but I wasn't so much nervous. But once you get on stage, the lights, you can't see anybody. You might barely make out the judges, but you can't see shit. You'll be fine.
Yeah, no, like that sounds super fun. And yet that's basically how I'm looking at it, is like just a learning experience. Obviously, like I don't have a coach, so I'm not like really focused on like winning overall or like doing anything. Like obviously if I can place well, that's great, and like I'd be super excited for it. But
For sure.
I mean, like main thing is just like I wanted to do this for a while. It's like just get the experience in, like because I've done like a couple years where, you know, I do a little bulk up and then like I cut down in the summer, and like now I actually have a specific goal. It's like, yes, I'm prepping for this show on this day just to like see what I can do. So.
Okay. So are you bodybuilding to see what you're capable of, or do you just love the sport of bodybuilding?
I mean, both. Yeah. I mean, I really like it. I think it's a really good lifestyle, honestly. I like for me, the cycle of like kind of putting on some weight and then cutting it off, partially just because like it's a mental break. I mean, I know you made some videos on like, you know, the downside of being too lean and stuff like that, which I totally agree with. Like, if you're lean all the time, that's great and all, but you might not feel your best. And if you put on any extra weight, you're gonna like take that really hard, as opposed to if you gave yourself grace, let yourself accumulate like some fat and like be okay with how you look. Cody thin, baby.
Yeah, I think it comes down to like if it's your first time, if you're not used to existing in a certain state. Because I remember when I first lost the weight, back when I first started my YouTube channel, is when I like really like kind of latched on to like the anabolic diet when that was a big thing. So I just told myself I'm never gonna not look like this because I know how to get there. I achieved it. And for a long time, I made a lot of mental compromises in the hopes of maintaining a physique that led to, you know, I don't want to say disorders because I never got diagnosed, but I remember I would binge many nights over and over. I'd go to my fridge and I would just house things, and I'd wake up and not eat most of the day because I felt guilty. And then I would binge that night, and then I would look in the mirror and I'd see a fat guy when I had these veins jogging down my stomach. It's bad if you don't go into it with a healthy mindset. So I think bodybuilding, there's a lot to appreciate. You can kind of chip away at all your fat and like unveil your final form. I think that's great in terms of like self-development and understanding what it is you're capable of, what you got, where you can improve on. It also exposes your weak points. The best thing you can understand is it's just a competition. You're gonna need to get some fat back no matter how impressive and superhuman you look. It's important to be able to do what's better for you mentally and physically versus trying to look visually appealing. And I think that's one of the downsides of bodybuilding. I think there's a lot of pressure, whether people impose it on you or not. You exist within the fitness industry, so you feel this expectation to look a certain way, behave a certain way, and if you don't uphold that, you're afraid it's going to affect you on a financial, business, status level, and you just don't want to, I don't know, like you don't want to do what's best for you. You want to do what's best for your looks and your appearance and your reputation.
Yeah. Woo! Yes, sir.
So, another question I have, you guys are probably interested in this also. Shaving the legs. Is that something you did?
Yeah.
When, like, how early did you do it? Like, for the show, did you do it like that morning? Did you do it the night before? Like, I don't know.
So I shaved, like for the show, I would shave my legs prior to it. Because back around that point, I never really got to a seriously high body fat percentage. So there were times where I was just shaving my legs before I even signed up, just because I liked how my legs looked. They were smaller, you know, like I store fat in my legs, and I never trained them for a big part of my life, most of my life actually. So they're not as big as they could have been, at least in proportion to my upper body, but I still just felt skinny. So I was like, oh, let me shave these legs, you know? In terms of prep, you might just shave it a couple days before. You know, like you're gonna have the tan, you're gonna have everything covering you, so there's gonna be like the tiniest stubble you won't even notice. It's a pain to do.
Yeah, that's definitely something I've never done before. I've thought about it, because like I see people who shave their legs the first time and their quads are just like, you know, look sick. So
they look sick, yeah, because if you're really pasty and you shave, it can make you look softer, but if you're tan, the shadows kind of act as more of a contrast to the way the white bounces. If you shave and you're tan, you might just look more impressive versus pasty. So tan is gonna do a lot of wonders for everybody.
Yeah, well, that was actually like the other question going off of that one is like, because I've never done like spray tan or like the rub-on bronze stuff. Like I've never done anything like that. So like, how early should like I start that process of like tanning?
Okay, so
Or how early did you start it?
what I did is I started getting into tanning beds once or twice a day. I mainly once a day for the week leading up to it, like around when my peak week started. I think I started tanning about 7-8 days out, and the day before is when I actually got a spray tan. I got like the darkest possible setting, I don't know, like level whatever, and I just said make me as dark as possible, and they're like that. So I got a spray tan on top of being in the bed for a while, and then I bought some this dark bronzing lotion that you're supposed to put on that makes you look super dark. What I found out is it's not meant to be worn as like a stage product. It's more so you wear it when you're tanning to get darker naturally. That wasn't technically what you're supposed to wear. That's why when you look at my face when I was competing, I had all these brown spots. It's because I was sweating it down, because it wasn't meant to be a body paint. It was meant to be a tan accelerator. But I just put 8 layers of it on because I had no other choice. And I'm like, shit, we're in the hotel. I can't go out and shop. I can't find it on Google. Amazon will take forever. I'm just gonna smear this on 8 or 9 times and use like an old hotel towel. And I was just going like this, waiting for it to dry, doing it again, trying not to smear it. And I wouldn't like touch anything. I got in the car and I wouldn't touch the door, and I'd have my hands like this. And then I'd get backstage and I wouldn't like touch, like my shoulder would hit something. I would double check to make sure there wasn't a white line. Yeah, I did it wrong. I did a lot of things wrong when I first competed, but it was cool because I got over the initial anxiety of what to expect, how are people gonna look at me. Yeah, it's super fun. You're gonna love it.
Oh, yeah, I do have one more question for you.
Okay.
All right, so those of you in the fitness YouTube area, what's your take on the Remington versus Greg drama right now?
Okay, so I was watching. Okay, so here it's nice because I remember the last time Remington was submerged in some drama. It was because of the video that I made and the ones Nick made and Josh made.
Yeah.
And it kind of spiraled into a lot of chaos. Where I stand personally, I think Remington was certainly being a bit manipulative, or at least deceiving in terms of how he pitched the product. He did market it as, he did say in the video, oh, it's good if you want to bulk up, but he also marketed it as a lower calorie alternative. So if you're saying it's going to be a good bulk product, why would you promote it as something that's lower calorie? Technically, Remington did not lie, but one thing Remington always does in his videos is it's recipes and full day meetings. He's always putting calories, macros. It's a staple on all of his videos. So the fact that when you pitch a product, you don't blow that up on screen and be transparent with it, I think was deceitful. I think he was within his rights to do it. I don't think it's what I would have done, or anybody who was trying to be as transparent as possible would have done either. I take a little bit of issue with Greg because no, I think with Greg, he owns a product that is a direct competitor of Remington. I'm not saying he wants Remington to fail, but when you own a product, you're obviously gonna compare it and say, oh yeah, Kiko, the Kiko bar is this, it's this. I've never had it, right? So I would say as of right now, I don't like the way Greg approached it. I don't like I couldn't sleep at night. All I could think about was this ad. It didn't bother you that much. Like, I get it, you're trying to add to the impact of what Remington was doing, and I'm not negating that. But I think he was just done in a really drummed up, dramatic way. I like Johnny Shreve's take, where he was like, I mean, here's the thing. Drama's entertaining to watch, but by no means do I find it productive. I mean, it might force somebody to talk about something they might not otherwise, and I think that's a pro, but in general, just calling people out. Like, I saw a comment by Greg where he was, where he said, I've unsubscribed to Remington, I've lost all respect, and it's like, I mean, from where I'm standing, I get disagreeing, but to take it that far, I don't agree. Well, I don't know who I'm with, though. I think Remington should have done it better, but I don't like what Greg did. I think they're both in the wrong in a lot of ways. I couldn't really pick a side. I don't really like how dramatic and drummed up it was from Greg. I don't like the deceit that came from Remington. I think Remington was within his rights, so whether or not you agree, wow, this is so weird. Yeah, I'm just gonna say I'm leaning towards Remington. I'm leaning towards Remington as of right now. If more comes out, sure. I lean towards Remington. I think, it's not who I favor, it's who I think did less wrong. I would say probably Remington in terms of just the situation.
Yeah, no, it's definitely interesting. And honestly, like, I think the boxing match was a little unrealistic to go through. I like the parameters that Remington set out. It's like all for charity, and then loser has to eat the winner's bar and stuff like that. I thought it was a good set of parameters, but did not expect Greg to take the challenge, and I don't think he's going to, but I would definitely watch that fight if they did it.
Dude, I think that would be an incredible occurrence in fitness. If Greg Doucette and Remington James stepped into a ring together with undercards like Jesse and Sush and whoever else wants to throw down, I don't want to see Eli coach Greg. I was talking to him about it. I think Eli, that would be awesome. Yeah, I think the boxing match, I think it's never a bad idea, right? If you guys want to just get in the ring and do it, it's fun, it's content, and Remington made it clear, like, we'd hug it out and move on or something. I just want happy endings, you know? I want to see people eventually get along, you know? I want people to right their wrong, but I also don't want to see people beef over the dumbest shit, you know? I think that happens too much, and that's a big qualm I have with the fitness industry. Half of it is just keeping up with the anabolic kitchen, keeping up with like the fucking weights. I don't like it, man. It's like everywhere you turn, you might step on a landmine. It's stupid. It's dumb. I don't like it. That's my take. My very drawn out take. Sir, any other questions? Any other insights you'd like, or are we good?
No, I don't think so. I think that's pretty much all I had.
Right on, dude. We gotta go lift.
All right.
We gotta go lift.
Let's do it. All right, guys. This is Ethan maxing out right here. Oh, dang. He's making PRs.
So what's your PR?
235, baby.
235. How much we got?
We got 245 on the bar. Failed this like 10 times, so.
Okay, so I'm not gonna be able to spot you if worse comes to worse.
As long as it doesn't neck.
Okay, work. Let's go. It's all right, bro.
Not getting it.
It's all right, bro.
Code Ethan, baby. Alright guys, so that is the video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Huge shout out to Ethan for collabing with me on this one. It was crazy. We found out we actually live pretty close to each other, so maybe some more vids coming soon in the future. Anyways, make sure you go check him out. Give him a follow on YouTube. His channel is going to be in the description in this video. Follow him on Instagram also. And then as you can see from the title of this video, this is episode 3 of Summer Shredding. So if you want to check out my previous episodes of this year, just documenting my cut all the way till I have the show on June 11th. Make sure you subscribe. Follow me along. I'm super excited for it. Cannot wait. This was a great experience just exposing me to like some new poses. Obviously still need a lot of work, but I'm really excited to get started. Thank you so much for watching. I had a great time with this one. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.